Well, hello and welcome to my channel, Life with Sandy. Today we are going to do a collab that I am hosting. Back in October of 2022, Joan at Joan's Pointed Plate came up with the idea of having a monthly collab of recipes. She started it off with Cracktober, which was things that you could make in a crock pot, and every month since then we've had a different theme. Like I said, this month is my turn to host, and we are going to have a casserole. And the name of the collab is called My Ace in the Hole Casserole. This is a go-to casserole that I eat all the time. I love Mexican food, but my husband's not too great of a fan of Mexican food. So when I do make it, he just kind of tolerates it. Otherwise, he just makes something that he likes himself. But I really like this recipe. I found it on a Weight Watchers website, one of their recipes that they had offered. And if you do it their way, which is six servings, it comes out to about 6.5 points. So figure like 7 points per serving. If you do it, divide it up into 8 servings, you can get it for 5 points. I'm kind of tweaking the recipe just a little bit. I'm not a big fat-free type of person. I don't like corn tortillas either, so that's another thing. So the ingredients I'm going to be showing you today are going to show you that it's a 10-point dinner, but it's very filling for 10 points. But like I said, you can decide for yourself how you want to eat it. I just figure out my points for the day and I enjoy it for 10 points. It's a very hearty meal. But at the end of the video, I'm going to leave a recipe for you that I got from the website, showing you the way that the Weight Watchers suggest that you eat it. But like I'm saying, if you want to follow mine, I use all the same measurements. It's just different ingredients. But make sure you check out everybody in the description box below and check out what casseroles they're coming up with, because I'm sure you won't be disappointed. So let me turn you around and show you the ingredients that we're going to be using in this recipe. Like I said, if you want to change up a little bit things, just take notice of the different things that I'm going to be using differently. I will point it out as I'm showing you. But it's well worth the 10 points. It really is. But, to each their own. So let me turn you around, show you the ingredients, and we will get started. Okay, here are the ingredients that we're going to need for my Ace in the Hole casserole. And I will tell you the different things that I'm using that's different from the recipe at the end. I use just the regular Mexican style shredded cheese. The recipe calls for fat-free cheese. I'm going to use regular cheese. It also calls for fat-free sour cream. I use the regular full-fat sour cream. You can use any kind of tomatoes that you want. I'm going to get the petite dice with grilled chilies in it. I'm going to add a little bit of green chilies. The end tells you to put jalapenos in there. I would love to put jalapenos in there. That's too spicy for Jim, so we compromise with that. A 15-ounce can of corn and a 15-ounce can of black beans drained. I have a pound of ground sirloin, the taco seasoning mix of your choice. I'm using the flour tortillas. You can use these, I forget, I think they're 4 or 5 points each. I think they're 4 points each. They might be 5. But anyway, if you use the Extreme Wellness Wrap, they're only 1 point, or use, as the recipe says, corn tortillas. Like I said, I'm using these, but those are the ingredients. And so let me turn you around and we'll get started making this Mexican casserole. Okay, we've preheated our oven to 350. We're going to do a little bit of butter on the bottom, probably about a teaspoon of butter, just to kind of grease the pan a little bit. And we're going to add our onions. And just kind of stir them just for just a couple minutes, not too long. And then once that is done, once we get this, just kind of a little translucent, not a lot, just a little bit. This is a half a cup of onions. This is a little bit more than the half a cup. I like onions in my meat. So it's just one small onion that I use. Then I'm going to add my pound of ground sirloin. You could use ground turkey if you want, but we like to use the ground sirloin. And just going to season it a little bit. With some seasoning salt, and then I like to add a little chili lime to it. And then just some pepper. And then we're just going to brown the meat, combine the onions with the meat as we're going along. So this usually takes about, depending on your stove, about 10 minutes to completely brown it. But I'll come back when it's brown. Okay, once the meat is brown, you drain it, rinse it off with some warm water, put it back in the pan. Then we're going to add our taco seasoning at this point. Just going to make sure it's all mixed in together. Going to turn the heat down to low. And just make sure all of the meat is all incorporated together with the taco seasoning. You don't need to add any water to this, so it's just the seasoning mix itself. And let me turn you around. Okay, our next step is we're going to dump a can of the beans in here, and we're going to rinse them thoroughly. So you want to rinse them until it comes out clear. That's to get all the excess salt off of it. Then we're going to drain our corn into it. And the chilies. And just kind of mix them together. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add it to the beef. Let me turn you around again. Hang on. Here we go. And we're going to add this mixture to here. Mix it together with the meat. And then we're just going to simmer this on the stove for about 5 minutes. So let me do that, and then I will be back when we're going to start building our casserole. And guess what? I forgot to add the tomatoes, so we're going to add the tomatoes now. It doesn't really matter what order you add them, but I completely forgot about the tomatoes. So we're going to add all that together now. Then I'll be back to show you how to build it. We're going to simmer this for about 5 minutes. Okay, we're going to spray the bottom of the pan with a little bit of Pam. I've already cut the 8 tortillas in half. So we're going to place 4 of them, or 8 of them rather, on the bottom here. They're going to kind of overlap a little bit.
Thanks for the warning, though. Do you know those mushrooms are poisonous? Is your plan to do
And do them as evenly as you can. Then we're going to take half of the mixture of the pan here, and we're just going to spoon it over the top kind of evenly. And then just try to get all of the corners as much as you can to the side here. Then we're going to take our 2/3 of a cup or 3/4 of a cup of sour cream, and we're going to just put it over the top and just spread it around evenly. best you can. Probably should have used a spatula. Let me get a spatula. And just kind of spread it evenly as much as you can.
Although I am aware of how wood recipe can transform fools into pigeons.
And then what we're going to do is add just a little bit of the cheese, not a lot. Just a little bit, just to kind of melt it in a little bit. Because we're going to save the rest for the toppings. Then we're going to put the rest, the tops on these.
After a week's observation, I diagnosed Colin's condition as loose-Lautrec syndrome. Named for its most famous sufferer, who did not yet exist, I reminded myself.
And then place the rest of the meat mixture. Whoa, don't go anywhere. Hang on there. Hang on. Place the rest of the meat on the top. Spread it out evenly. And then we're going to cover it with aluminum foil. And we're going to bake it in a 350-degree oven. It's a new roll of foil, so it never wants to cooperate. And we're going to bake it in the oven at 350 degrees for 25 minutes. Okay, it's been in the oven for 25 minutes. We're going to take it out. Take the cover off. And sprinkle the remaining cheese over the top.
Thank you.
And then cover it for 5 minutes. And here is the finished product. Okay, hopefully you try it. Let me know which way you do it, whether it's the way I prepared it or the way Weight Watchers suggest that you prepare it. Obviously, if you do it the way Weight Watchers suggest, then you can have more than one for the same amount of points as just one of mine is. It does freeze up very nicely. Like I said, my husband's not a big fan of this dinner, so it's like we don't have it that often. But I do freeze it up. He works afternoons, and so I have it as a go-to meal when it's just me, either for not a light lunch, but for a lunch or a dinner. Make sure that you wrap it in foil though before you put it in an airtight container. It just freezes just a little bit better. And then I thaw it overnight in the refrigerator, and then just cook it for 350 degrees. Oh, okay, let me back that up a little bit. I know, I'm sorry. If you want to make it and then just freeze it ahead of time, make sure you cover it in foil, put it away, and then the next day thaw it, and then put it in the oven for at 350 for 25 to 30 minutes. If you want to prepare it right away and then eat it and then freeze it, it still freezes really well, and then you can just reheat it up in the microwave, or you can just reheat it up in a cast iron grill. Either way, you're going to like it. So make sure you go and check out everybody in the description box down below. Thank you for all the other channels for joining me on this Ace in the Hole Casserole collab. And make sure you check out everybody else. In the meantime, like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I will hopefully see you on my daily vlog.